Sports is an activity that usually requires physical effort or skill and carried out according to fixed rules. It is challenging, even more challenging when it has to do with special people or people most time referred to as handicapped. A case study is Mr. Feyisetan, Lagos Special Athletics coach. Though handicapped, has achieved a lot in sports. Life had a chat with the accomplished coach.
I'm from Ogun State, but I was born here in Lagos. I was born here in Lagos through Mr. and Mrs. Are. I live here in Surulere, and most of my life I grew up here.
Can you tell us how it happened? I mean, your leg.
It happened when I was, I think, about 15 years. When I was 15 years, then I think they said my body, I have hot temperature. My body is very hot. They took me to hospital, and that was how they gave me injection. That was how it happens. My mother, everybody was very sad then. That's because they were not expecting it.
Before the incident, how were your parents seeing you? And after the incident, how did they treat you?
You know, here in Nigeria, when you are able, people look at you like somebody that could achieve. But when you now had small injury or any disability, they look at you like somebody that could not progress on earth. And since then, I've been taking it like a challenge that I had to work hard. Even when I do it as far as going to the street, preach to the other disabled on the street that is begging, that they should come into disabled sport so that they can find ways. It's not only begging that they can use in assisting themselves. So since then, I've started doing sport from my primary school, secondary school. Even while I was in secondary school, my parents, they're always quarreling with me that what do I think I'm doing, that I'm not supposed to be doing sport. I'm supposed to do this, do that. You know, I have a lot of problems with my father, mostly my father. So suddenly when this thing happened, my father even neglected my mom for some time. You understand? But you know, even when I get to some certain stage before I came to Lagos, I was the one that still asked my mom that I want to see my dad. Because you know, I feel left out. I believe they don't like me. Until when I now got to him, and I find out the same thing is still continuing. So that was how I choose to be on my own. I try to do everything for myself. You understand? I've been neglected. Even I was one that sent myself to school through other of my friends, fathers, that they don't even want to see me. They don't want to do anything for me. And it still hurts me up to today. You understand? Because I never have that parental care very well. You understand? So that's how I decided going into sport. I played table tennis in Alakoro in Lagos State before. They called the place Alakoro. That was how one of my friends still brought me to stadium, and that was how I started to date. And since then, I've always been on my own. You know, here in Nigeria, they look at disabled person like somebody that they've caused or there is a spell on that person. But it's not supposed to be so, because disability can come in any way. You understand? You at least somebody that is not a disabled can become a disabled any day, anytime, as far as you are able. As far as you are riding on Okada, you are into a car, anything can happen. Even the building can collapse, anything can just happen. That's one thing I want Nigerians to know. Sometimes you have a girlfriend, maybe when you get to a stage that you want to get married, or you want to talk, or maybe you want to see the parents of the girl. Before you know it, they come in, they say, are you sure he's a Muslim? Are you sure he's a Christian? If it's not that, if you say yes, he's a Muslim, they say okay. Before you know it, they say, he has a bad leg. There is nothing, you can't marry somebody that has a bad leg. Somebody will even tell you it's over my dead body. But the same person that is saying it does not even know the money that will come next. You understand? So we've had series of problems like that.
Are you married?
Yeah, for now I'm married. I'm married with a kid. You understand? And with God's grace, I sent my wife to university because she loved me very much. You understand? Even despite the problem from their home, that they don't want her to marry somebody that is a disabled, she still stick by my side. She did everything to assist me. I love her very much because she has been assisting me. And she's just the only helper that I have, apart from God for now. She talks to me. That's why most of the time after training and everything, I want to go back home to see her and my daughter.
Other special athletes also bore their mind.
It's a polio. According to my parents, they told me that it just started like a fever. Then after a night or two, so they gave me injection. On the process of that, the leg started paralyzing or something like that, becoming weak. That it happens to be like this. So it's an polio injection problem. That's how I found it.
Yes, they gave me injection. That was the time that I was 2 years old, according to my parents.
I give glory to God because I thought everything is over until I come to sport. When I came to the sports circle, in fact, I see myself in great world, in new world entirely. Yes, I see myself in a new world entirely. Because in somebody that doesn't have any hope, I see myself at least I see my hope being rise beyond my imagination. You understand? I see myself being, at least, I'm not able to go to any international competition outside. But within Nigeria, I'm still a local champion. For disabled people out there, life goes on. And one thing I believe in my life that life continues in anything in this life. You just don't think that it's over. It's not over or it's over. So while you are still breathing, while you are still living, believe that you can still go to places in the life. So just don't take it things as because of my condition, I need to hand this way, because of my disability, it's supposed to be in this way. No, you can't just limit yourself.
Feyisetan advises other handicapped out there.
They shouldn't lose hope because their God is able. People might call them disabled, but their God is able. And I want them to know they are able in the Lord. So I want them to come into sports, whatever they know they can do to achieve in life. Begging does not last. And they cannot continue to beg even at the age of 40, 50.
A good advice there for his colleagues. It is always better to have a source of livelihood than depend on the little handouts from people for survival. And I'm really happy Feyi has someone who truly loves him. And moving on now, we bring you the story of the man in the process of coming up with a permanent solution to the frequent problem of oil pipeline vandalization, an action which most times leads to the loss of lives and properties and very negative to the economic growth of the country. Driven by our seeming helplessness in coming up with a permanent solution to the problem of petroleum pipeline vandalization, Christian Isioma Okafor decided to invent a device that could detect petroleum pipeline intrusion.
God puts ideas in the minds of humanity. So with the problem we have been having with pipeline vandalization, it seems that we are helpless over these problems, and it's been occurring often and often. You find out that lives are lost, properties are lost, Nigerians' economy is affected, and a lot of other attendant problems. So when ones have this, you'll be touched if you have that zeal to help humanity. You can now go in and sleep over an issue. And that's exactly what I did. And then came up with an idea of trying to provide a device that can help Nigerians solve this problem of pipeline vandalization.
He goes ahead to tell us how the surveillance device works.
Pipeline installations are very sensitive installations, and they require 24-hour surveillance. But because human beings cannot provide this kind of surveillance, that has occasioned most of these problems we are having. But this device now, what it does is that it gives you surveillance on the pipeline of a particular length 24 hours and every day. That 24 hours and 7 days in a week. That is all round. It gives you the surveillance. So when it is installed or deployed in a pipeline, what it does is that if there is an intrusion on the pipeline, it will be able to dictate that somebody has really intruded even before he now starts to do an actual thing. It will now tell you this is the location. Along, if you have several kilometers of pipeline, it will be able to tell you if it's kilometer 1, kilometer 2 of the length, kilometer 3 of the length, kilometer 4. It will tell you the particular location where that intrusion is occurring. And it will also tell you the time, and will tell you the duration the intrusion has occurred, the length of time it has stayed. And we raise an alarm that can cover about a kilometer square to alert even at the control. Maybe one is not attentive to watch the displays. The alarm will equally attract everybody that something is happening far in the bush. So this is briefly how the device works.
You have pipelines in several places. Yeah. How do you monitor all the installations?
Yes. You know, every pipeline has where it emanates and where it runs to. So we have several pipelines. So we install from where it emanates and where it runs to for each particular location. So if we have about we have assuming Port Harcourt, it comes from Port Harcourt to Aba, from Port Harcourt to Benin. You have for Port Harcourt to Benin, you have the one that has to monitor that. You have the one from Port Harcourt to Aba, the one that is going to monitor that. And that is how it will be for every other locations.
Christian intends having an exhibition soon where stakeholders will be better acquainted with the workings of the device.
Technology has stages. So the stage I am now is the stage to taking it to where they will now come. Because after this, I'm going to now arrange for an exhibition where they will now be invited. Even though they can come in, we can still interact at this particular stage, but there will be a formal time when I'm going to arrange an exhibition where I will now invite the stakeholders to come and see it. They will now move and physically experience how it works themselves.
There were challenges, no doubt, in coming up with the device, but Christian's ultimate goal in solving the problem of pipeline vandalization spurred him on.
It is not been easy, and it's not in Nigeria is not where you can say, oh, I have a dream of this, and you need finance, and somebody will easily understand you. So I have been financing all the realization of these dreams myself, and I make my income. It's from there that I've been financing this. And also you have a lot of other human problems that come along your way directly and indirectly. My ultimate goal is to solve the problem of pipeline vandalization. It affects me seriously, directly and indirectly, and it affects every other Nigerians. And for the fact that God has given me the knowledge to do it, I will not refuse. There are a lot of other challenges which would have even made me to put it apart. But I faced those challenges, and God has been helping me out.